What's up?
We got a problem. A bunch of data control systems have been sending error messages. We're working on it, but when are you going to be here?
Computer says 6 minutes on Subterranean Drive.
Good. See you then.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be great if you jumped into your car, told it where to go, and the car drove itself without your ever touching the steering wheel? Wouldn't it be great if there were billions of chips stored in the road, each costing a penny, eliminating traffic jams and even car accidents? Now, as ambitious as all this seems, this technology is coming.
Most of us drive a car every day without thinking twice. But in fact, piloting 2 tons of steel and glass through space takes an enormous amount of brain power. And when we drive at high speed, we have to make judgments in microseconds. In the U.S. alone, nearly 40,000 people die every year in car crashes. New technology will change that. To make an intelligent car, engineers around the world are designing braking systems that will take over when humans fail. A radar sensor on the front grille can see the road ahead. The brains are in the trunk. A computer that decides when it's time to step on the brakes. The real test is whether the computer can make split-second decisions like a human. 2 cars get ready. One has computerized brakes, one doesn't. Stop. The drivers head at 20 miles per hour right toward 2 foam walls. Radar senses the obstacle ahead and measures the distance. Then, just yards from a collision, the automatic braking system kicks in, avoiding a crash. Now, automotive engineers want to take the system to the next level by teaching it to predict the driver's behavior.
Die nächste links.
If a computer can anticipate drowsiness or distraction, it can override a driver in time to avert an accident. In a simulator, researchers analyze the driver's every movement. Cameras track which way he looks and the frequency of blinks. Infrequent blinking is a sign of fatigue. They are programming their computers to interpret those signals and predict when the driver is putting himself in danger. Other researchers are taking the driver's hands off the wheel. Robotic cars do all the driving. These engineers are preparing for a race called the DARPA Grand Challenge. Their cars have tens of thousands of lines of computer code, and the teams have been staying up late putting the finishing touches on them.
Well, for me, since I wrote the software, the biggest fear for me is that something I wrote dies for a silly reason. That is my biggest nightmare.
On this testing ground, their challenge is to follow a winding course 130 miles through the desert with no drivers and without remote control. How does a robotic car work? The key is called LiDAR. A sophisticated laser system that scans the path in front of the car hundreds of times a second. It relays the data to an onboard computer. Designers must program the computer to respond to every possible scenario. Here, the sensors pick up an obstacle. The computer decodes the data and makes a decision. Then, a GPS system puts the vehicle back on track. Of course, they're still working out the kinks. But in this race, 5 out of 23 vehicles made it to the finish line. They've blazed the trail for robotic cars.
I really think that in the future we could easily have cars and trucks where the humans don't have to make any decisions, where that all of the human errors and everything like that that causes problems can be avoided. And I think we can get there within 50 years.
In the city of the future, autonomous cars will work safely because the whole city is wired. Every object in offices, homes, and on the streets constantly transmits and receives data. The city is a giant internet where everyone and everything is always online. Everything needed to run the city, police and fire services, power plants, hospitals, is controlled from one central point. The house of the future will be part of the same system, wired wall to wall. As soon as you come home, it automatically adjusts lights and temperature to your preferences. Walls, furniture, and appliances all have cameras and microphones that respond to visual and verbal commands. With a word, your favorite program appears on television. When you select a recipe, the fridge checks itself for ingredients and orders missing items from the supermarket.
Grocery shopping from your couch. Your intelligent clothing will call an ambulance in case of an emergency. The GPS system will locate free parking slots. Sounds good to me. But you know, all of this comes with a warning. As we become more dependent on technology, just remember, even in the future, computers can crash, technology can fail.
Because the urban landscape is so intricately wired, it's also highly vulnerable.
Hey, how is it up there?
So when a teenager borrowed his grandfather's old laptop to hack his shark into the city's holographic billboards, he didn't realize he was accidentally releasing a virus lurking in an obsolete computer. This modern city no longer has defenses against such an ancient enemy. It's not just computers that are affected, the whole city network begins to crash. In this digital world, the role of the police has widened enormously.
Georgina Gator.
In 2057, they will patrol a new beat, cyberspace.
You need to have a look at this. Train stopped moving 20 minutes ago. 2 minutes ago, this happened.
A traffic jam. Last time I saw something like that was 20 years ago.
I'm looking for the Senior Commissioner for Critical Infrastructures.
That's me, Georgina Gator. What can I do for you?
Data Security, CityCom. I would have called, but all our lines are crashing. It's a virus in the central CityCom system. Bring up the city on your display.
This thing is the problem?
Well, kind of. It's attached to a virus, which is scanning the entire city for displays and holograms for the shark to invade. There are millions of them, so it's clogging the whole network. We don't know who the hacker is, but we know how he got in.
How?
He got access via the internal system of the police department.
But how is that possible?
In the name of Georgina Gator.
Humanoid robots have been promised for a long time. Where do they stand now, and where are they going?
Teddy bear.
I just attacked